Good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this afternoon, okay? I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Like, share, subscribe, comment, okay? If you would like to support the channel, you can support the channel via Super Thanks or a Cash App. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I had said today I was gonna take a day off, child. I was grilling my shrimp because I'm doing the grilled shrimp Alfredo. Okay, I make the best Alfredo because I do my Alfredo from scratch, and I use the zucchini pasta as the noodles, right? Just a healthy lifestyle, right? And I love it. I have a lot of energy, child. A sister getting fine again, right? But I wanted to talk about um because Memphis is full of talented artists. Because Memphis is full of talented artists, money is being put on their head one way or the other. And I want to talk about CEO Jizzle because I think the CEO Jizzle could be one of those artists that's up next. He's very, very talented. Okay. Normally, when I zone in on an artist, and I know a lot of people go, well, you just say that about Young Dolph's artists anyways. Yes, I do. I'm very proud of Young Dolph's artists, but I might just try to talk about everybody. Okay. But you can only put so much in the head, right? But when I was sitting here thinking, having a glass of my wine, child, looking at my grill and grazing at the water back there, I was thinking about a lot of the talent that comes out of Memphis, okay, um and how a hit has basically been put on them one way or the other, right? I think it's sad that we had a young man like Young Dolph who was smart and crafty enough to go underground and learn the recipe, right? Because a lot of times when you're doing stuff, when if I think if they had known what he was doing as far as when he was learning the business, he was getting his money up, they probably would have tried to pay these fools to take him out even before then. But to learn the recipe, God allowed him to learn it and then to transfer that knowledge to young men like Key Glock and Kenny Money. Because Kenny Money, I'm gonna tell you something about Kenny Money. Kenny Money is a young Dolph in the making. I know Key Glock was with him all the time. Key Glock is very talented. Key Glock is even though he's independent on a mainstream level, has, Kenny Money can be one of those. He's gonna be one of those artists that can be because I see Key Glock is more low key, but Kenny Money has that bigger than life personality, like Young Dolph, and he's charismatic too. Okay, so I think he's going to be another Young Dolph, and I think it's a good thing that he has CEO Jizzle. And I always say because I know Jizzle and them are very young, I don't know where his head is. I don't know if CEO Jizzle knows that he's the total package. And I sit and I watch stuff like this. Okay, and so when people are very pathetic, they go, "Well, she is." What was they saying? What's the word they said I was doing as it relates to these young men? No, I'm not lusting. That's what they were saying over these young. I don't lust over young men. Okay, now if maybe they daddies. Okay, but I don't lust over young men, especially young men that are young enough to be my children. I have kids that are exactly their age. I have a 25-year-old and a 22-year-old. Okay. So I don't lust over kids that I could have given birth to. Okay. Which is the reason why I stay on the heads of a lot of these OGs that is helping them to crash out and put in bags and paying for bags to be put on their head because they're taking out our future. A lot of these OGs, they're old enough to be their damn granddaddies. And if they cannot, and Memphis has a lot of talent, and it's unfortunate, they go to the hoods and they use these cuckabug heads that had already that are my age and older, okay, that understand the poverty that it is in Memphis, but it's so much damn talent, okay, and they came out of these same damn hoods, and because I grew up in South Memphis, okay, I know how over the years how it got worse and worse and worse. We grew up, you know, for until I was about 12 years old, we grew up in the trenches too, right? And so um, they use them to go and get these little dudes that's got all of this talent, right? Because they're very talented. Put them in these 360 deals, get them strung out. They're already on something instead of saying, look here, I can make you a millionaire, but you're gonna have to come up off of that lean. You're gonna have to come up off of them perks. You're gonna have to, they want them to stay on some type of narcotic, right? So that they can continuously take advantage of them, right? And once they start to open their eyes, either they're junked out later on, especially if they get some type of fame, or if they start losing their money on them because they so junked out. I'm talking about junkies, okay? If they open their eyes and have an epiphany about their contracts, or if they start becoming too much of a junkie and cannot fulfill what it is, that they want them to fulfill, be that workhorse that they want them to be, they start looking at, I'm losing money, okay, so the next thing is these multi-million dollar um insurance policies. And let me just say this, okay, I do know that insurance companies hire investigators. A lot of them have their own investigators. Some of them outsource, especially because it's more and more people, it's more and more insurance policies that are being investigated because folks are just killing folks in like 40 going north. Okay. I'm gonna talk about that later on. But folks are killing people like 40 going north as it relates to these insurance policies, and it's unfortunate that these young men hits are being put on their lives if they can't get them into gang wars, because there's like a gang war going on in Memphis, and a lot of these young men, they just don't have any value as it relates to life, right? Um, a lot of them come from bad homes and they know that. So if there's anybody like a young Dolph, that he might smoke a little weed, but he ain't no junkie. Okay. He's smart because if you listen to a lot of people that actually knew young Dolph personally, they always talked about how smart he was, right? Okay, so he was a thinker, he was a critical thinker, and we don't have that anymore. A lot of these little dudes, they come from the trenches, that's why they go to the trenches. They hungry and they ask them what are you willing to do, okay, to come up out the trenches, right? And they ultimately ruin their lives because they put them in positions to be retaliated on, their families to be retaliated on, um and stuff like that, right? And if the streets don't get them, they end up getting them with the insurance policy. And I think that's what bothers me so much, that they're just taking out the future, or they're encouraging them to crash out. If they don't want to crash out, then if you don't want to crash out, you can't get nothing, right? You can't get nothing. I think that's sad. And like I said, Memphis is definitely being targeted because of all of the talent. And it is so much talent because of the different style of rapping, just talented, out of this world, right? And so, like I said, it's just sad that you have OGs that come from a different era that know that we did not do things of this nature. That's consistently taking these young dudes out. And what they don't understand, I think what bothers me so bad about CEO Teasy, right? Okay, it bothers me because I had been saying for a whole year that when these little dudes, because CEO teasing them was paid to take Young Dolph out. Okay, this ain't, I ain't saying nothing that the FBI and the police don't already know. Okay. Um, but when you're paid, I've been saying when these little dudes are paid to take people out, okay, um, you know, and they were as flamboyant as they were. They wanted whoever paid them to take them out wanted them to be flamboyant, so that um so that young dogs people would know that they were the ones that was involved. Now I don't know how I didn't see Teasy being as flamboyant. I'm talking about, wanting to, as far as wanting people to know that it came from that direction. But the people that paid them, you hear folks say now, a lot like JoJo Splat and all of them, a lot of those little dudes was paid by the people who paid to put the hit on Young Dog, to put a lot of that into the atmosphere, because in my opinion, they did that is because they wanted that negative energy on them, so that Young Dog's people could go and retaliate and take them out. It would save them, the trouble of having to worry about any of them really turning and telling. They had already did, what they wanted them to do, and that was to take out their threat, and that was Young Dolph. And Young Dolph threat was being great. That was it. That was all. So once they did that, they wanted it to be a gang war. Take them niggas out. We don't have to worry about them turning and telling. And that's what happened with that. And I think that is so sad, when you see a bunch of people that actually came out of Memphis that is orchestrating a lot of this stuff. I think it's sad, with the retaliation and stuff that's been going on. I was looking at, some people came into my chat, and they were saying that I had a young man to come into my chat that's actually in Castelia, um, that said that there was some retaliation going on, that people was going into Castelia and just taking out innocent people. Now I've heard people refute that. I can't say, the I can't say that it's not happening. Okay. And I'm right on the outskirts of Memphis, and I can't, it's so much crime, I can't say it's not happening. And I'm sure not gonna be way in Timbuktu and saying it's not happening. Okay. Especially, when I'm in the city every day, because my businesses are in the city and I see exactly what is going on. I can't say that, it could be under the guise of anything. I don't know. The only thing I could say is I hope that it's not happening, but it's too much going on. Okay. It's too much going on. We don't ever really know. People jump on a situation, try to refute something in a minute, try to make other people look bad, and they are not sure themselves. Okay. So for people to say, well, they said it's not true. Well, the only thing I can say is I don't know if it's not true. Not if the only way I could be positively 100% that it's not true is if I knew the people that was arrested or the person that was killed, right? So I can't get on here and say, well, it is true, it's not true. I'm more prone to believe somebody that's over there that might know something that I don't know. Okay. So that's how I handle that, because see, I've had quite a few people to come into my vlog, okay? And for some reason, people always, they want to, anyways, that's my answer on that, okay? But it is a lot of retaliatory situations going on. I just don't, I'm not out there to know directly, who and who and what is doing what as it relates to that, right? I'm not at liberty to know or say that at this point. Okay. But I think that it's sad that, a lot of people think that they're playing chess. We go get this crash dummy to go and do our dirty work. We'll offer him, just like they did straight drop, a record deal. And if it starts getting hot, if the heat starts getting hot, we'll just put everything on his back. We've already been hiring this little crash dummy to do all our work. If he flip, we know who his family is. We know all his other dirt. We're gonna bury him, and I think that is sad, right? I do. I think that is sad. There needs to be some type of awakening. Okay. There needs to be some type of awakening, and I'm praying that God, a lot of these people that think that they are out there, but like I said, God has to make the enemy think that they are winning, right? Because then he's in a position to show them that they are God. And all of this slaughtering of human lives and this genocide that's being committed in the Black community, it is just messed up. Somebody was telling me something. I was been intending to talk about it, to do two different videos on two different people, and I got to thinking about, it's just sad. I feel a certain way, even though I know that TZ was involved in this young dog situation. I like to see justice served, right? And when people say, well, they took TZ out because he had turned on straight drop, I don't know if TZ had turned on straight drop. They didn't need TZ to turn on straight drop, okay? Um, um, TZ was in a position that Orange Mound Quet was in, or in an even better position to be able to really touch the top, okay? um and I believe that's why TZ was taken out. And I've just decided I'm not going to, because they know I get credible information because it comes directly from the sources. Now when I get some information from off of line or something like that, I always say that, and if it's not correct, I always correct it. But when it comes from the sources, it's always correct. And I'm not going to get on here and give the enemy in another day the opportunity to strategize because they're looking at my information. I'm not going to do it as it relates to what's going on in the inside. Okay. So they won't be getting there from me. That's the reason why those two videos that I want to do on those two different people, I'm not going to do it when there are updates and things of that nature. When there are updates and things of that nature, I'm going to talk about the updates um, when they go and they arrest whoever it is that they're going to arrest. I'm gonna be the first one to put that out because I'm gonna know. But it would be safe to put it out because they would have already arrested them. But as far as anything goes, I mean, for them to just go and just decide that, put themselves, some of these people put themselves in a godlike position and just decide to take somebody's life. I have issues with that, and I've been in prayer about that. I really, I've been in prayer about that. But I wanted to talk about CEO Jizzle being up next, right? CEO Jizzle is one of those young men that is the total complete package, right? CEO Jizzle has and I said I've been intending to do this the other day. I was like, when these little dudes are great, I want to get on here and let them know that they are great, right? We use our vlogs for so many other things, but I want to get on here that will encourage them, because I know CEO Jizzle had lost his baby's mother, and I don't know mentally, like I know people have their ups and downs. I know, like, especially around their age, I got kids that are their age. 1 minute they one thing, the next minute they something else. Okay, so you have to really put encouragement into the atmosphere to let these kids know to continue on doing what you're doing, because you're a star. CEO Jizzle is a star, right? And I think that is unfortunate. And I had to pray about this before I put this into the atmosphere. And if any demonic fool or force, okay, don't get me on here to cussing and acting damn fool, okay? Listen to what I say and get jealous because they understand that CEO Jizzle, okay, is a star, because these folks got jealous spirits. These old ass niggas got a damn foot in the grave, jealous of these young ass kids, these young ass boys. They jealous of them. Man, we gonna get rid of him. Bitch, you ain't got no more 15 minutes. You 50 years old almost, okay? Leave these young dudes alone and let them be great. These niggas sit up and jealous of you had your day 20 years ago. I'm gonna take him out because he's gonna be better than my artist. Well, I mean, he already better than a lot of them artists, okay? But CEO Jizzle is a star, and I think if CEO Jizzle, and I always say this, he's the total package, but I don't know where he is mentally, because with you being a total package, you have to be there mentally. That was the thing about Young Dolph. Even before Young Dolph arrived there in the physical, he was already there mentally. Okay, so you have to be a step ahead. Even if you're the package, total package physically, you got to be ahead of your time mentally. And that's why Young Doc was able to get his millions, because he was already ahead of his time. Even before he perfected his craft, he was already ahead of his time mentally, right? And so I think I watch Kenny Money, and I know Kenny Money has the he got what it takes to be the next young golf as far as CEO type mentality, right? I'm happy that he's up under him. And I was looking at Kenny Money do a I want to show y'all this, okay? Because I have so much going through my head. If I'm jumping around, I didn't want to make this video so long. So y'all I have to forgive me for that. I be trying to get everything in because I said I wasn't gonna do no video today, but I got to drinking my wine, trial and grilling. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do one. Hold on one second.
Should not try with no batter who tellin'. That should not pay no girl juggy, she sexy. Ballin' whoever, don't never stop flexing. And if they play with you, send them to heaven. Hey, Lord, forgive me for all the sins I committed. And forgive me for any ones I might commit on the way to these millions. Hey, money to rip out these rats, I get evil. I gotta take her, my family like Peter. Ran these racks up, I ain't taking no breathers. Unless I'm give me some talk from a diva. She on the dive, but I met her eater. Shawty said she got a rich man fever. I feed, cause smashing broke girls illegal. For that dude hit, they can give me the needle. Never let nobody slide. When there's blood in my eyes, I get it or give me the needle. Bread on my bread, I ain't talking about pizza. Church to my money, I'm a kid, not the preacher. Hey, I can friend no one but Jesus. I'm paying tithes with a piece of my real. I feed the street, cause the streets at the feed.
Now see, he gonna be a winner because he paying his tithes. Okay. That's they say you pay your tithes. That's I'm gonna tell y'all something now. Um, I just gotta put this into the atmosphere, child. When these devils was coming at me because I work so much, I don't have time for a whole lot of stuff as it relates to commotion, especially as it relates to stuff like this. But what my mom was telling me, you just gotta pay your tithes. So I pay my tithes and stuff. I'm gonna tell you something. When you give, anyways, when you put your tithes into a good church, okay, or into helping other people, you have to give in order to receive. And I've always been a giver. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I started just giving, I told my mama, I'm here, just take it on to your church or whatever. And now, I mean, it's just because I was a giver anyways, right? Um, it makes what you have multiply. And I'm not saying you have to give tithes and offerings to multiply. What I'm saying is be a giver. Stop trying to receive all the time, but when you give, right, and you give with a good heart, and I'm talking about anybody that is in need, whether you're sowing seeds of wisdom, of positivity, financially, it comes back to you tenfold because whatever you do, it comes back to you. And that's the reason why I say, if he stay on the right track, he will be the next Young Dolph. As far as I'm not talking about with the rap style, I'm talking about as far as with the mentality. And I keep saying I don't know where CEO Jizzle is mentally, but if with him being a total package and being next up in Memphis, right? If his mentality catches up with what God has already blessed him with, and that is just being star status, having everything it takes to be star status, he'll be a force to be reckoned with. And it's unfortunate when you hear people say, well, they got a bag on his head or on that one head. That's what I'm talking about. They're continuously trying to take out these young dudes. And I'm not saying that they're, innocent. What I'm saying is they're taking out and targeting these anybody that has greatness on them, right? And I think that it's unfortunate. Child, I know this message was loaded, okay? I know it's loaded, but I had a lot that I had wanted to say in this video, but being with all the crime and stuff that is happening in Memphis, this stuff has got to stop. These black men are going to have to step up. We're always, it's just it. I just cannot digest that black men are. A lot of these black men are the reason that the black community is in the position that it's in, because black men are supposed to be the head of the communities, and they're supposed to be protecting the women and the children, right? Instead, you see so many, black men that are helping to destroy almost every other black man, right? And so, because they're putting that karmic energy into the atmosphere, because there is a God is whooping their ass as cat raggedy, right? They whooping their asses cat raggedy. So, you know, hey, it ain't gonna get no better. I keep saying until we do better, but because these young men have a gift on their life, God has blessed them with all of this talent. It's unfortunate that hits are being put on their heads or on their lives, one way or the other. Now I understand when people say the gift can be a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because God says the gifts come without repentance. The gifts can help you to attain a lot of what you want and need in life, but it can be a curse because it brings those green-eyed devils, right? And it's unfortunate when people become jealous of you, right? Especially in this day and time, they try to assassinate you one way or the other if it's not your character, your physical body. And when they can't assassinate your character, they come for your physical being because for some reason people just cannot stand to see one be great, right? But we're gonna be looking out for CEO Jizzle. I want Daddy O to sign CEO Jizzle, right? That's what I want. I don't want, I saw him wearing the 1017 chain. I don't want Gucci Man or whatever they call him. I don't want Gucci Man to sign him. And I ain't got no problems with Gucci Man. But I don't want him to sign him. I want somebody from out of Memphis to sign CEO Jizzle. But I hope that with God giving him everything that it takes to be a star, I hope that his mentality, if it's not there, can catch up with that too, because you can't be a star unless mentally you caught up with the physicality, right? Of what God has given you and the gifts as far as rapping. The mentality has to be ahead of all of that, right? But anyways, you guys, I just wanted to get on here and talk my stuff, child. I'm grilling and I am chilling and I ain't got to do nothing today, but I gotta go back over to Arkansas tomorrow, child. I'm probably just gonna have to I'll get ready to say move to Arkansas. The devil is a lie. I've been having a lot of investigative work over there. But anyways, I'm chilling today, thank God. But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.